Giving Back, sponsored by Patterson Legal Group.
We're excited to partner with Patterson Legal Group in our weekly segment, Giving Back. It's where local nonprofits are recognized for the great work they're doing to make our communities better places to live. Each week, Patterson Legal Group recognizes a new nonprofit and presents them with a $500 check. This week, we're proud to spotlight Critter Care of Topeka. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Tyler Patterson with Patterson Legal Group. This week's Giving Back recipient is Critter Care of Topeka. I'm here with Jean. Jean, tell us a little bit about the group.
Well, we've been in business for, so to speak, 30 years, and we help with low-cost spay-neuter of dogs and cats. And it's for anybody who needs help. We don't require income requirements, just anybody who needs help can use our services.
Well, the animals of Topeka are certainly lucky to have you, and we're excited to give you a check today for $500.
Thank you. This is a wonderful surprise, and we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Joining us now is Jean Barton with Critter Care of Topeka. Good morning.
Good morning.
Absolutely a delight having you on here today. I can't wait to hear more about Critter Care. So to start out, I guess just introduce us to the organization. How long has it been around? How long have you been a part of it?
I've been around for about 30 years, and it started out as an education, strictly education going into the schools. But we realized that people can be educated, but if they can't afford to get their pets fixed, what's the point?
Yes.
So we started a Spay Neuters Assistance Fund. We are a nonprofit, 501c3, so any donations are tax deductible. And we just arrange for discounts with vets. It's not a free service. Doesn't mean we've not financially helped some, but no application, no proof of income. Anybody can go through us.
That's absolutely fantastic. I know, like, I've been in that space too, where you get a new pet, maybe you don't have quite the funds to spay, neuter, get who knows what to take care of your little guy. And so it's great that there's somebody out there like you guys that are helping people out. Absolutely fantastic. So, as you mentioned, you help out financially with spays and neuter. Do you guys do anything else? You also mentioned this. You were at schools, kind of giving.
We don't do that anymore. The funds dwindled, so we just do strictly spay neuter. We do it over the phone. We don't even pay for an office.
Okay.
We're all volunteers, and people call in, or sometimes go on a website and do it, and we talk to them, find out how many pets they need. Often when they find out that the discounts are so great, they'll say, well, I do have other pets. And that's the idea that's so great, is that some people will just say, well, I can only do one. And when they hear the discounts, they do more. And so that's the issue, to get them all fixed.
That's absolutely wonderful right there. And so with such a service, how is the donation from Patterson Legal Group kind of able to help you guys out here?
Oh, they gave us $500. And so if a female dog is $90, we might help with some of that cost for people coming in, because they often can't even afford that. So the funds will be used to help subsidize some of these higher end payments that people need to make. All the vets will honor that base that we have on the list. Some will require shots. Some will, if your dogs are larger, add for the poundage of that. But that's the basic rate, and we've had that for, gosh, maybe 20 years, that part. We've changed how we work things, trying to get the most that the Critter Care can handle it and still serve the people that need it.
That's absolutely fantastic. I love that you guys are kind of out there helping. How many people a year would you say you help out?
Well, we're hitting around 1,000 a year. It's built up because we've done more. We've done over the years 15,000, but the last few years we've hit about 1,000 a year.
Wow, that's absolutely fantastic.
And I know some people think, well, people shouldn't have pets that can't afford them. And I'm not going to argue that sometimes people should not get a pet. They get out of control. But I get a lot of calls from people who said, I was driving down the street, saw it on the street. Somebody just showed me they got some kittens from a dumpster, and the umbilical cords were still attached.
Wow.
And they can't afford it. They're already needing help. And so we're helping all kinds of people. I even had one person cry. They were going to pay for full price of critter care, but they cried that they finally had a place to go to.
Absolutely fantastic. And having all these stories, come to you, do you hear back from the people how the animals are doing?
Well, there's one particular person I can talk about is Joe. He called. He was rescuing a Rottweiler that was next door. The neighbor never fed him, gave him water, kept him out in the cold, and he'd sneak over at night and give him food and water. And then he saved up his refund money, tax refund, and paid the guy and said, "I want your dog." And the guy took the money and he took it. Now he needed help getting him spayed. And we did, and then 5 years later, he called because he needed another dog fixed. And I said, "What happened to that Rottweiler?" And he said, "I gave him 5 years of good life. He just died recently of cancer." And he said, "Now I am sold on Rottweilers," and he rescued another one. And so, I don't get much feedback, but I'm really glad to see that Rottweiler lived a happy life with him, and now he's rescuing another one.
Absolutely wonderful. Jean, thank you so much. And so we're been talking about Critter Care of Topeka, and I'm curious about you. Like, why is this organization so important to you?
Well, my husband and I used to, when we find strays, pick them off the streets. We got them neutered, fixed up, and we would find homes for them. And we've had our own pets. All mine were spayed and neutered, including my husband, so it was just something important to us. And then when Critter Care was being formed, my vet knew how much I cared about this and invited us to our wine and cheese party to see if we wanted to get on the Critter Care board. And that's how it started. Education's why I got on the board. And then after a time, started to spay neuter when I realized that more can be done.
And it just grew from there. As you said,
Right.
the organization's been around 30 years, I think you mentioned last week. Absolutely fantastic. And so I'm curious, people like you out there, they want to help out the animals out there. How can others help the organization? Like, are you looking for volunteers? I'm sure donations as well.
Right. Well, what happens is a lot of people do a lot of rescue, and they're busybodies, which is good. They'll see a neighbor struggling and they'll say, "Come on down. We got this program that'll help you." And there's also a sidebar that will refer to other programs, and there's a community cat fix, and they do feral cats. And so getting a lot of bases covered for everybody that needs help.
That's absolutely wonderful. And I know in the past you guys have done kind of special events to raise kind of money for the organization. Anything planned in the future?
Right now, the COVID sort of shut things down, but we are tax deductible, and we've had many people who will pay for somebody else.
No, that's
because it's tax deductible. So the neighbor was saying, "I'm going to help somebody, let me do it." And since we don't require proof of income or anything, other people can do it for other people. There's no paperwork, just do it.
Fantastic. How can people reach you guys if they want to take care of their pet?
Well, they can just call us at 785-478-9985. The good thing, it does go to voicemail, so it might be frustrating. It says that, but it's not punch 1 if you want this, punch 2, punch 10 when you want this, okay? All goes there, and I answer them all. So we do call back. And it's real simple, like I say. It's not a whole bunch of choices. You straight through to us.
Wonderful. It's as easy as that. It's simple
as easy
phone
as
call.
that.
That sounds so great. Jean, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for all the work you're doing in the community. You're making the Topeka just a little bit better place.
Well, thank you,
to live.
and thank you for the Patterson Group for making this possible.
Absolutely fantastic. And of course, to learn more, you can also go to crittercaretopeka.com.
Giving Back, sponsored by Patterson Legal Group.